this movie will be bad. Okay? Unless Disney and can pull off a literal miracle, this movie will be bad. Okay? First of all, they already killed off most of the most popular Star Wars characters. They already killed off Luke Skywalker. They already killed off Han Solo. Who next are they gonna kill off? They gonna kill off Chewbacca because his actor died, and Leia because Carrie Fisher died. And first of all, the new characters, Finn, Rey, Rose, Poe. Most of these characters had very little development throughout Episode 7. And they had the most development there, but Episode 8, they screwed over these new characters. They introduced some new characters that no one likes, like Rose Tico, for example, and of course, Holdo. Thankfully, he's not in the show, in Star Wars anymore. But we also have the boy and villain Kylo Ren returning. He is still gonna be the worst Star Wars villain ever. All the Star Wars villains besides Kylo Ren are all intimidating. Even General Hux is more intimidating than Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's is some guy with teenager problems and has emo problems, and that's basically who Kylo Ren really is. Darth Vader was not like that. Like the real villain of the prequels is Palpatine and General Grievous and of course Darth Maul, but the real villain was Palpatine. The major bad guy, the big bad. In the original trilogy, it was Darth Vader for the first two movies, and then it was Palpatine. And then throughout this series is Kylo Ren, one of the worst Star Wars villains ever. When he's ranked number 13 on the worst Star Wars characters by people, actually it's much higher, like 14. You know your characters are not like Rey is in the top 10. L337's in the top 10. She's not in the new Star Wars trilogy, so she's from Solo. And of course, Rose Tico is now the worst Star Wars character behind Jar Jar, and has passed Jar Jar Binks at number 1. And then Palpatine is supposedly coming back, but how does he survive? This movie takes place literally 20 years after the last one. Okay, I know the Force can keep you alive, like with Yoda. We don't know Yoda's race's lifespan. Okay, his actual race's lifespan could be around 800 years old, but let's just assume that the Force keeps you alive. But Palpatine will be over 100 years old. He is a senior citizen. He was 90 years old, and he was like 80 to 90. He was like 90 years old. He'll be like 90 years old or something, or over 100 years old. Okay. And basically, Palpatine should be dead, but according to the trailer, he's still alive. But why? Because Disney wants to milk every last penny they can out of your pocket. He's probably just going to show up as a Force Ghost to excite everybody and to trick people into watching this new movie. Of course, people want to know what happens, but what's a good exclusive to the boring characters they introduced? What is the driver? Okay, what is the drive to make people see this movie again after The Last Jedi? Rey's just an OP person who beats everybody really easily. Poe is just there. Finn is just a guy, stormtrooper who just became on the good side just because he wanted to. Rose Tico is absolutely useless. Most of these characters are basically undeveloped, and you had 3 movies to develop these characters, to give us a reason to like these characters. The only reason the episode 7 did so well was because it was like the original trilogy. It was more like it. But these new characters were not that good, and people wanted to bought the movie, went to go see the movie for Luke Skywalker and and Han Solo and Princess Leia, no one went to go see The Last Jedi for Rey. Very few people. Everybody wanted to see Luke Skywalker. And you know what they did? They treated him like trash. That's what they did. They treated him like that, trash. Like, and then Luke Skywalker decides to just disappear out of nowhere. Like, what kind of garbage is that? And then, even the actor of Luke Skywalker said that was a stupid decision and hates that. Because it was. You killed off Luke Skywalker for zero reason. Like, there's a difference between Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. Harrison Ford doesn't want to be in another Star Wars movie, so they killed him off. That makes more sense, because Harrison Ford does not want to be in another Star Wars movie. And then let's get to the last thing, Snoke. They killed off Snoke, so basically, there's no big bad. The hero couldn't confront him, and he does absolutely nothing for the movies because he doesn't. Because he died. Rise of Skywalker is the end of a saga of a trilogy that failed. That's basically it. The Last Jedi was a failure, and that's basically all the reason I used for this is the reason why I'm not excited for this movie. When I saw the trailer, I moved on the next day, forgetting this movie even existed, because I'm not excited for this, and I should be, because Star Wars is one of the most popular franchises, and even people are concerned about this movie because of The Last Jedi. Well, you can blame The Last Jedi for me not wanting to see the movie. Don't blame me, and Solo as well. Solo was terrible, and The Force Awakens was eh. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and goodbye.